Hello, beautiful children. It is amazing to see you in my mind's eye. And for those of you who came to shul, it was wonderful to see you properly. We're allowed up to 15 families, so it's still really the 15 children in the families. But who knows? Maybe I'll get to see more of you. So, what is this week's parsha? Are we ready to roll back the time? Rolling back the time. And once more, rolling back the time. And one more, rolling back the time and thinking and thinking and thinking. I've got my t-shirt on and I'm ready to talk about this week's parsha. And it's Bank Holiday Monday today. When you get to see this video, it won't be Bank Holiday Monday anymore. It'll be nearly close to Shabbat, probably Thursday. But today is bank holiday and the sun is shining. Woohoo! It's lovely and hot. Not as hot as in the desert, though, for Parshat Shlach Lecha. The Jewish people, they are about to arrive in Israel. They're only 3 days away from Israel. They're nearly there. And all they need to do is have enough emunah, have enough faith, and go into the land of Canaan and get rid of the inhabitants. They need to just get rid of the Canaani, the Hitti, the Amori, the Yevusi, the Chivi, the Girgashi, and the Perizi. But instead of approaching it with optimism, instead of being positive, instead of being happy about it and knowing that they're about to receive their own homeland that was promised all those thousands of years ago, instead of that, the Bnei Israel are a little bit skeptical. Not quite sure about this. They're a little bit worried. Sometimes, I get worried before I have to do a job for someone. Am I going to be good enough? Is it going to go okay? But you've got to try. You've got to have your hishtadlus. You have to put your effort. Sometimes teachers say it's okay. Maybe it wasn't the best in the whole world, but you put in such a wonderful effort. Well done you. So all that the Jewish people needed to do was put effort in and have faith in Hashem. But instead of that, they decided to be a bit slippery. And they said to Moshe, "Oh, Moses, can we spy out the land?" And Moshe really didn't know quite what to do, Moses the leader. He wasn't sure, so he had to ask Hashem. And Hashem said, Shlach Lecha, send out spies for you. I don't need them. The Israelites obviously want them. I think it's not going to go very well. What do you think? Well, they chose 12 spies, top men, leaders of the tribes, etc., and 2 of the 12 spies were going to be thumbs up. They were going to be good. But I'm already going to tell you that 10 of the spies were going to be thumbs down because they were going with a very bad intention. They weren't going to speak nicely about Israel. They were going to try and put everybody off. Oh dear. So what were the names of the 2 goody spies then? Well, there was a gentleman called Hosea bin Nun, his name was changed to Yehoshua, and he was going to be the leader after Moshe. And the other gentleman was called Kalev ben Yefuneh. And Yehoshua came from the tribe of Ephraim, and Kalev came from the tribe of Yehudah. And Kalev was going to keep quiet. And Yehoshua added a yud to his name from Moshe so that he would be strong. He was going to try and tell the spies all the time to behave and not to be so naughty. So, there we go. Here's the laminate of Bnei Israel wanting spies to spy out the land before they would even try and enter. And this is my little laminate one with all the spies hiding behind a tree. Okay, so we know Moshe picked a man from each tribe except for the tribe of Levi. They never got involved in any naughty things. And there were rules for the spies. Please travel during the day in the beautiful sunshine. Do you think that's a bit dangerous, children? Well, SPS, some people say, aka, also known as the Midrash, that Hashem protected the spies because wherever they went, there were all sorts of terrible things going on and people were dying and they had to bury their dead. So nobody really was looking at the spies and they were able to happily go around everywhere. Do you remember another story like that? Well, another story like that was when the Israelites in the plague of darkness were able to go into all the Egyptians' homes and find out where they kept their silver and their gold and their precious jewels. And the Egyptians couldn't do anything about it because they were frozen solid in the darkness. But at the same time, the naughty Jews that didn't want to leave Egypt and they wanted to stay slaves, Hashem took them back because they weren't going to leave Egypt and journey out because they weren't worthy. So one of the rules travel during the day. Another rule, go from the south to the north. So the south had this huge, big fruit. Okay, and of course the south and the north were meant to be a land flowing with milk and honey, very fertile, very wonderful land. Another rule, see if they live in open cities. If they live in open cities, it's a sign of how strong they are, how fortified their cities are. The next rule, check out the population, see what sort of people there are living there and their wells. Is there enough water for everyone? Bring back fruit. They do bring back fruit, e.g. vines, fig trees, pomegranate, and they are going to do just that. Oh, let me show you the laminate. There you go. So they've picked all the best men for the job, but the men, unfortunately, 10 out of 12 of them are not being very good. So the spies start spying. I've got a good cap for spying. Only Yehoshua and Caleb will bring back a good report. And SPS, some people say, aka also known as the Midrash, that Caleb and Yehoshua won't carry the fruit because they won't say bad things about it. So it's absolutely incredible. You've got quite a few men carrying a cluster of grapes, probably 8, and you've got somebody carrying a pomegranate and somebody carrying a fig. Okay. SPS, some people say, aka also known as the Midrash, that actually the spies spy and see the cave of Machpelah. Do you know what cave that is? Is it a diamond cave? Is it a sapphire cave? Is it a gold cave? Is it an iron cave? It's a cave where our forefathers and foremothers are buried. It was a special cave that was bought by Abraham for 400 silver pieces, special pieces, from Ephron, the Hittite. And so they see the cave of Machpelah. And who's buried in the cave of Machpelah? Adam Harishon, the first man, and his wife Chava. We have Avraham and his wife Sarah. We have Yitzchak and his wife Rebecca. And we have Jacob and Leah. Rachel, don't forget, she actually died after childbirth, after giving birth to Binyamin, and she is buried near Bethlehem. And SPS, some people say, aka also known as the Midrash, that the head of Esau is actually in that cave as well. Okay, spy out the cave of Machpelah. Do you think the donkey is enjoying watching them? Might be. SPS, some people say, aka also known as the Midrash, that also the spies saw lots of people that were giants all over the place, but also the Torah tells us that they saw the 3 giants, that they saw Achiman, Shai, and Talmai, 3 huge big giants in Hebron. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell a spy, but I can't see one. The spies looked like grasshoppers next to them. And in fact, the spies are going to be very naughty and say to the Israelites when they get back, oh, we look like grasshoppers next to them, we'll never win, oh my goodness. But we're going to get to that. So the spies are back. They come back 40 days later. There's always a problem with this 40. Do you remember something else that went wrong with the 40? When Moshe went up Har Sinai and Bnei Israel counted wrong and they thought he was gone 40 days and 40 nights, but he wasn't. And then they built the golden calf. Here's another 40 days that goes wrong. So the spies say, the fruit is huge. It's only good for giants. They say, the people are too strong, we'll never win. They say, they've got Amalek to the south, they've got the Canaanim to the west, they've got the Amorim to the north, the giants. Help, help, we can't do this, it's too much. This is very distressing. Kalev finally talks and says, and that isn't all that Moshe's done for us. And of course, everybody quietens down because they think that Kalev is going to say something horrible about Moshe. But obviously he doesn't. Kalev says, now come on. We got the mun. Moshe split the sea. Moshe's going to take us to Israel. He's going to get us in there. He's going to get us over the finishing line. It's not going to finish us. It's going to be the start of us as a nation. But the Bnei Israel are not listening, and they all get naughty and they try and throw stones and they try and get angry and upset. Have you ever had when somebody's trying to tell you to do something that's good for you and you just don't want to do it because you're so scared and you don't want to do it? But all they needed to do was listen. What's going to happen? Hashem is not very happy with this behavior. It's very bad behavior. So what a sad day. They came to show their fruits, but it went all wrong. It's the day of Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, a day of gloom for all time. The special houses of Hashem, the Bet HaMikdash, there were 2 of them, they were destroyed on this day. Beitar, a special city, would be conquered by the Romans. Houses would be destroyed in Yerushalayim, and the ground would be ploughed over, all on Tisha B'Av. They cried for nothing. So Hashem gave Bnei Israel, the Israelites, a reason to cry forevermore. The 9th of Av. And there were some Israelites who said, okay, we're going to go and invade the land of Canaan and we'll take it for ourselves. But of course, Hashem had said, stop. There was only 3 days distance. But now, because of the 40 days, 40 nights you wasted, and you came back and you spoke such terrible Lashon Hara, some of it was true, but very bad, about Israel, and you took away the faith from everybody, you're all going to be punished. Nobody from this generation, nobody from your time is going to come into Israel. You will all die out in the desert, and you will wander in the desert for 40 years. And all the evil spies, the 10 evil spies, they will go back to Hashem as well. So none of the naughty people will get to see Israel. My goodness, that's a long time to stay in the desert. I mean, I'm glad it's nice weather and sunshine, but I wouldn't want to live in the desert for 40 years, not at the moment. So important to listen to our teachers and our mummies and daddies and not be scared, and to realize that Hashem has got amazing adventures for all of us. And of course, we're going to get Eretz Yisrael. But we just have to wait that little bit longer in the Torah now because the Jewish people have been naughty. But it's going to be amazing when they do get Eretz Yisrael. Just a lot of work to do before they get it. Listen to your mummies and daddies and do what they say. Listen to your mummies and daddies. Please don't forget to pray. Listen to your mummies and daddies. The rabbis lead the way. Then they will be happy. See you again soon. Don't worry about a thing. Enjoy your treat if you're having a special treat for bank holiday. Yesterday I had some peanut butter ice cream. Yummy. And it was vegan, so I'm telling myself that it didn't have too many calories. What sort of treats do you have? Chloe also had some ice cream. It was also Alpro soya ice cream, so it was very delicious. Bye!